Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, in the decentralized world of cryptocurrencies, there are basically two models at play: proof of work and proof of stake. Basically, these models are called as consensus mechanisms, which are a requirement to confirm the transactions that are taking place on the blockchain without the need of a third party like a central bank. Now, this is to ensure that the transactions are valid and that someone is not trying to fool the network. Satoshi Nakamoto came up with the mathematics behind proof of work when he founded Bitcoin. Now I'll play an excerpt from my previous video on Bitcoin so that you have an understanding on how proof of work plays out. Alright, so this is where things get really interesting. Like I said, all the nodes have the option to mine the transactions in their memory pool. They do this by solving a complex mathematical equation having a fixed output with a fixed number of zeros. So how is this process going on? See, the transactions that are there in their memory pool are given a number, a string. Now you have to multiply this string with a specific hash to get the required output. But what is a hash and why is it important? Set that aside for a second. Say I tell you to multiply 853 into 256. You get a specific number. But what if I told you to remove the left part of the equation and tell me with accuracy what were the two numbers required to get that output? That would be pretty difficult, right? So in the same way, a hash always gives a fixed length or output. So it doesn't matter how many times you process the input using a hash, which would be the string in our case while mining, the result is always the same. A hash will have different variations and can be random, but it is always of the same length. But why is hashing so important? See, hashing is a very complex process and it requires a lot of computing power. Now, bitcoins are as it is finite. Now, this is to ensure that the next person who mines the next batch of bitcoins does not get a disproportionate amount. Crucially, it is also important to note that after a specified limit, the number of bitcoins you win after mining also gets reduced to half. So for example, earlier people used to get 50 bitcoins, but now progressively it has reduced to 6.25 bitcoins. What this has resulted in is centralized organizations, mostly in China, buying up thousands of devices in order to generate higher mining power. Now this type of operation is called as a mining pool, which basically means that people pool their resources together in order to have a greater chance of solving the mathematical equation first, which kind of goes against the ethos of decentralization since the power is concentrated in only a few hands. Don't you think so? Now, a study revealed that the total amount of electricity required to keep the Bitcoin network afloat is more than that used by more than 159 individual countries. Proof of stake was first created in 2012 by two developers called Scott Nadal and Sunny King. See, the cryptocurrencies which use proof of stake usually start by selling pre-mined coins, or they launch with proof of work and then switch over to proof of stake. The world's second most popular cryptocurrency called Ethereum is in the process of switching over from proof of work to proof of stake. Now, this model uses different methodologies to confirm transactions and reach consensus. In proof of stake, the individual that creates the next block is based on how much they have staked. In other words, the stake is dependent on the total number of coins that the individual has for the blockchain that he or she is attempting to mine. However, technically speaking, these people are not called miners. Instead, they are called forgers since there is no block reward. So how does proof of stake work? See, firstly, in order to have the opportunity to validate the transactions, the user must put their coins in a specific wallet. Now this wallet freezes the coins, which means that they are being used to stake the network. Now your opportunity to win the reward is directly linked to the total percentage of coins you hold. So let's see how it works out. Say there are about total of 1000 coins on the blockchain network. Now you purchase and stake 100 coins. So essentially you have staked 10% of the total coins in circulation, which means that you have a 10% chance of winning the reward. Now why are people moving from proof of work to proof of stake? See, the stake acts as a financial motivator and an incentive for the forger to not validate and create fraudulent transactions. Secondly, since proof of stake does not require highly complex mathematical equations to be solved, which then consequently means that the total amount of electricity required to validate the transactions is substantially lower. Alright, so now I hope that you've got a fairly good understanding of these two models from the world of cryptocurrencies. Now, if you've got suggestions for future videos on concepts that you would like to be explained, do let me know in the comment section down below. Now, if you've watched till the end and enjoyed this video, do give a thumbs up and subscribe to help support the channel. I'll catch you in the next one. See you!